All right. And we got people coming in. I think we do. Yeah, we do. You send everybody
Mhm.
so they can chat.
Think so.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Okay. As you're coming in, hi everybody. It's the Julia and Amanda show. Julie, wasn't there a book or a movie, Julia and Julie?
Julie and
Yeah,
Julia.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Julia and Julia. They were both
yeah.
A's.
that was
Oh,
a great movie.
it was a really good movie.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
was a really good movie. Was
Yeah.
it? That's right. Small but mighty crew. Got some good stuff to talk to you guys about today. Um, was that
And
a book too?
technically, I have to say,
Hmm.
technically, I have a day off today. I took today off, but I wanted to. We have so many books coming out in May that I was like, I'm just gonna jump on and talk about them really
Aw,
quickly.
thank you.
See, this really isn't a job. It's more a calling, right?
I
This
know.
is a calling that we have here.
I
I
know.
I just came from our wrap-up meeting for the San Diego Book Crawl, and um, one of our amazing people on the committee is Kelly from Mysterious Galaxy, and she was talking about how she spent one of her whole days off just fielding questions on social media about the crawl because there was like a huge people we went from having like 6,000 followers or yeah 6,000 followers to like twice as many this year on Instagram.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's grown and more and more people are coming. And so speaking of a calling rather than a profession or an
Oh, it
occupation.
really
Yeah.
is. And I mean, and the
Cool.
crawl, the crawl is just taking on a life of its own, and it's very awesome. Um, so yay. And so Don, yes, the San Diego Festival of Books is August 23rd, or book festival. Can't say Festival of Books because the UT actually technically owns the copyright or trademark or whatever on Festival of Books. So it is the San Diego Book Festival that's being put on by KPBS, USD, and all the bookstores. Not all the bookstores, but there's like six or seven of us that are putting on the book festival August 23rd. Don't have a ton of information yet about like who's coming and headliners or any of that info. We've got a meeting on May 27th, I think, that will probably get more information about who's actually, in the lineup and what's happening with that. So, but the lineup's always great. People are always great. But what you are going to get is you're going to get us, Mysterious, Bookshop, Book Catapult, Library Shop, Lila Luba, UCSD. You're going to get all of our tents there with tons of books. So while it is about the panels, it's also about all the fun books that we're going to bring. So what a great day of
Will you repeat that date, Julie?
August 23rd.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna put it in my calendar right now.
Um, the libraries aren't part of they actually are helping part of like spreading the word, but they don't really have a tent or a presence in that respect because they really don't. The library shop is the only one that really does anything as far as like has a sales presence there. But we do promote it through all the libraries and the panels and everything. And that's where KPBS will also be announcing their One Book One San Diego. So that happens at that too. So good stuff happening. Um, I don't think I told this online. Yeah. So, anyways, still reading way ahead. I thought that Andrea would be here. I'm reading one of Andrea's books right now. That's not out until October, but it's by Bruce Holsinger, and he wrote The Gifted School, and he also wrote oh God, why can't I think of the other book that he wrote? Not Devastation, but it's about like the aftermath of a hurricane and what happens like when you don't have a credit card and you don't have, and the banks aren't working and what happens to you if and you get caught up in the whole FEMA thing. It was my book club book. It was really good. This one's called Culpability. It's not out till October, but it is it's a family drama. This family, they get in a car accident, and the car is one of the future cars that has unassisted driving. So it's an AI car. So it's got so they get in a car accident. So it's got this whole AI thing going on, but then it's got also like what AI can be, who's responsible when it comes to a car accident, and what the ramifications are. It's really good. Really good. Because it's set in, and he writes family drama really well. And all of these characters you're reading along and you're thinking, oh. Every single one of them, even the kids, are unreliable narrators in this. So fascinating. So keep a lookout for Culpability. All right, everybody. Julia, I think we'll put the screen share on for you. Let me make
Do
sure.
you want to do more than 3 today, Julia?
Yeah,
Since
Oh, I'm sure I could find another one.
yeah, if you want to find whatever you would like to talk about today, the
Sure.
floor is yours, as they say.
since
No
you mentioned
problem.
you have an embarrassment of riches right now.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna start with one of my favorite novels of the summer. Uh-oh, I got on the wrong screen. But this is one of my favorite novels of the summer. And this I actually I'm not sure if anyone has gone to see Sinners yet. But I went and saw Sinners yesterday. And there's parts of this book that reminded me of Sinners, not the vampire parts. But this is called The Devil Three Times by Ricky Fain. This is a debut novel. And this book starts off with a conversation between God and the devil. That's like the intro chapter. And then it plunges you into this story where the first like full chapter after this sort of like intro chapter is it takes place on a ship, a slave ship, bringing African people from West Africa to the United States. And one of the women on this ship makes a deal with the devil. And the rest of the book is how that deal that she makes with the devil reverberates through her ancestry. So the next generations. This book has a family tree at the beginning that you will use extensively, believe me. Um, and um, and in this book, the devil is not wholly bad or evil, so he's a little bit ambiguous. And it's fascinating to sort of watch these repercussions and reverberations throughout the generations um, of this deal with the devil. It is a phenomenal book. It is rooted in sort of Black storytelling his history and like movement. It is just I couldn't believe how good it was, and I couldn't believe how fast it sucked me in. I feel like sometimes big literary sort of like fiction novels take a second to sort of ease into, and this one gripped me from the get-go. I like couldn't read it all at once when I was reading it just because I had other things that I had to get done reading. And I was like, I just kept being like, I just want to read that book. I just
Oh God, I love it.
kept pulling me back.
I was going to say, don't take the screen share off. Put the screen share up again, because that cover
Yeah.
is amazing. Because at first you don't see the faces, and then you see them, and it's just like, oh, it's
Yeah.
it's a
The face is
brilliant,
right here. Yeah.
brilliant cover. Because at first
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, it just looks like, and then it's like, yeah,
And
really,
a
really good
gorgeous
cover.
novel, and like one that I just I can't say enough good about, honestly. Like all of us, it's a little bit it's like 400 pages. So it's like it's got a slight heft to it. And I don't know about you, but sometimes because a lot of my job is reading books quickly, when they're a little hefty, I sometimes am like, oh God. But this one just like I said, just grabbed me and sort of ran with me
I
as
love it.
but it sort of reminded me of Sinners, of if you've seen Sinners, that the one scene that what I'm talking about, that sort of evolves from history, past, present, and future. And also I absolutely recommend that movie too if you haven't seen it yet.
Well, no, I haven't seen it. It
That
looks
has
like
nothing to do with what I do for work, but it's very
Kim
good.
looks like she's going to go see Sinners. Amanda, you couldn't see the faces? They were silhouettes.
Is it like the face or vase illusion thing?
Like, look,
Yes, face or vase. Yes, it was absolutely the face or vase. It's a face or vase. You
He's
see them?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I feel proud of myself for saying I didn't see it because I'm one of those people who, when those 3D
Oh,
pictures first came out,
I
I
hated those
pretended
things.
I could see them for like 2 years before I had an accidental I can see it realization.
I don't know that I could still see any of those things. Those things drove
Oh,
me
you would know if
crazy.
you're able to see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would anyway.
Anyway, okay. Do you have
Magic eye.
the magic eye thing? That was it.
Yeah.
Magic eye thing. Oh my God. All right. You got something for us, Amanda?
Yeah, I might as well. So we just had our Kaliba meeting last week, which is the meeting of the Southern contingent of the California Independent Booksellers Association. So our amazing reps like Julia were there to talk about new books, and we got to snag some early copies of things. So these are I want to talk about just a few things that I'm excited about that I haven't read yet, but just want to get them on your radar because they're now on our radar. We are Our keynote was with Annalee Newitz and Charlie Jane Ander, and they talked about their new books, Lessons in Magic and Disaster and Automatic Noodle. And it was a great conversation. So if you know these authors, Annalee Newitz is actually well known for their nonfiction writing, such as Four Lost Cities, which I picked up before the conference, which is about four ancient cities that we think of as that were just abandoned for reasons like disasters, like Pompeii. But the book discusses how cities, these were like very modern cities, just like the cities today, and they were abandoned for various reasons, like failures of urban planning and perhaps climate change. So it makes you look at ancient cities in a new light, a very relevant light. So yeah, I know that was three books in one, but I'm excited about this track right here.
I love it. And yes, we always love previews. So if there's not enough that's already out, we get excited about seeing what's coming too. I think I talked last week about the
There's
Ken Follett.
there's plenty out. It's just
There's plenty out, but there's always fun. It's always fun to look ahead. That's the
The
Ken
Ken Follett
Follett.
is it's
It's a tome, but it reads so fast. I literally read it. I mean, I probably could have gotten it done in 4 days, but um there was, just stuff got in the way. But it's all about Stonehenge. Oh my God. It was so good. It was so good. So I think
I,
that's coming October too, right?
it is September 23rd.
September. Okay.
I should say a little more about these two. Just Automatic Noodle is about robots who go into the noodle business in a speculative future where robots are fighting for their rights and
Is it
what
really
makes them live.
speculative anymore?
And then um this is a lot like Charlie Jane Anders' book, All the Birds in the Sky, which was
Mm.
amazing. And if you haven't read it, it's a beautiful exploration of the intersection of science and magic or mysticism. And this sounds like it's somewhat in the same vein. So yeah, very
I love,
excited.
yeah, her writing is amazing.
Yeah, a huge fan.
I'm not a big like sci-fi or fantasy person, and she gets me with her writing and like draws you in such a like stunningly fun way. Like she's fun in her writing as well, and I really appreciate.
And they do a podcast together, so they
Oh,
listening to them do the keynote was it was awesome. And like
Cool.
they did give us time to ask questions, but I didn't want anyone to really ask questions because I wanted them to just keep going.
Yeah,
yeah. If there's a good duo that does a podcast and they're up there on stage talking, because sometimes, if it's a conversation, but the podcasters are pretty good. Love it.
yeah.
Okay, Julia, what do you got next?
Okay, so next, this is out tomorrow. Oh, the Devil Three Times is coming out tomorrow. This is also coming out tomorrow. This is called So Many Stars, An Oral History of Trans, Non-Binary, Genderqueer, and Two-Spirit People of Color by Caro de Robertis.
Oh.
And Caro de Robertis, this is their first nonfiction. They did one of my favorite novels called Cantoros. That was in 2018 or 19 or something like that. And then just recently came out with The Palace of Eros, that did really well. That was a Simon and Schuster book. This is an oral history, like it says, and it's of an older generation of queer, non-binary, two-spirit, trans people of color. And so it is like, honestly, I was reading this right in the 2 weeks surrounding the election, and it felt like it was like okay, like it there was a balm sort of, I don't know, it felt like a balm while reading it, and it felt like these like sort of older generation of queer people sort of like, it's bad, and they're like not, they don't sugarcoat it, but also like, here are all the things that give us hope. And it's sort of their love letter to the younger generation. And it is just, it's magical. I feel like it's a book you can like come back to again and again, even if you're not a queer person. Just like hearing that perspective, hearing that wisdom and hard-earned wisdom of these people, like it is just, it's so phenomenal. It absolutely made me weep in like a good way, like a warm way. And I can't say enough good things about it. They just have done such a good job of putting these voices together, in the way like a great oral history really is.
And I love Caro. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so sweet. And
They're so sweet. And they did a book. Oh, it might have been their first book. May not, I don't know. But Perla
Oh, I haven't read it.
It's about the Argentinian disappeared. And there is a magical realism to it because the ghosts tell the story or tell their stories. It's phenomenal. It's a really, really great insight into the Argentinian disappeared.
I feel like they do such a good job of pulling together in their fiction, of pulling together like the sort of like mythology retelling like Madeline Miller, but like
Right.
but like with a lot of realism. I guess that is like Madeline Miller, but like
Yeah.
with a lot of realism, where
Right.
because Cantoros is less like magical realism, but the Palace of Eros is.
Right.
And so, I that's sort of their wheelhouse. So I can't wait to read that.
Yeah, if you get it, Pearl is not long. It's a short little novel, but so impactful. So, it's so good. So,
Cool.
all right, Amanda, you got something else to chat about?
Julie led an excellent panel at Kaliba
We talking about
with so you want to talk a little bit about your panel before I mention the one
which book are you talking about? Oh, okay. We're not supposed to have favorites. All three of the ladies were really good. I adore Mona Awad. She was her and I think are like, spirit together. We're something. But her new books, We Love You, Bunny. If you read Bunny, you have something so to look forward to because We Love You, Bunny is coming, and it's amazing. Two-spirit people, yeah, that's me. It's it takes you back to the world of Bunny. And Mona's writing, if you haven't read Rouge, read Rouge. So it was her. It was Kashana. I can't remember Kashana's last name. What's her last name?
Cauley,
Cauley, that's it.
Cauley.
Kashana Cauley. Hilarious. Amanda will tell you about the book, but Kashana, she's written for like The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. I mean, she's an incredible, smart as a whip. And then Olivia Blake had her book, Girl Dinner. But I'm so excited that that you are going to talk about The Payback because it's such a good book. Have you dipped into it at all yet?
I've started it, yeah.
Oh.
So The Payback is a novel, and it's about, I guess, another near future, but it's pretty near. The main character did what they did because they wanted to do the right thing and be the right kind of kid and American and go to school and better themselves. And now they're just under a crushing pile of debt, student debt. So they work at the mall. Um, they had also had a brief career as a fashion costume designer, but lost that job, and I haven't found out yet why, which is suspenseful. But so they're working at the mall to try to better themselves, and it's not really working out. So as the author said, um, the main character and her friends decide to do what anyone would do if doing the right thing doesn't work for you. You plan a heist. So um, and meanwhile, they're being hounded. The characters being hounded by the debt police, which are not the sort of police force you would think of them. They're kind of like mystical, and they're into crystals and financial wellness as spiritual wellness, and it's yeah, it's
I
awesome.
finished it. It is hilarious. And it's one of those books. It's a little bit like Bunny too. It's like good people doing bad things, but you're rooting for them all the way because
Yep.
it's just they're doing it for the right reasons. But anyways, the debt police are driving turquoise cars and they just it's just it's a very funny book, but it drills into some very real issues that a lot of people are facing, and that's kind of the reality for a lot of people. And so she does it in a very accessible way that um doesn't preach at you, but gives you like pause for a lot of things. So very good book. Highly recommend The Payback. Can't recommend it enough. But I don't think that's coming out until like October. Maybe it's sooner. I don't know.
It's August.
Oh,
Or
it's
no,
August. Okay.
July,
Oh, okay. It's even
which
sooner
is
than I thought. I was
which is
thinking
pretty
it was going to
soon.
be later than. Oh, yeah.
Pretty soon.
Okay.
Also,
So,
can I just say that the novel titled Girl Dinner is genius.
yeah.
That's a great thing to name a book.
Oh, yeah. It's
That's
pretty
a
good.
great title.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay. What you got, Jim?
Yeah, so my next one, it's coming out next week, but my next week is so chock full that I want to talk about this one because it's so good. And this is called Sing to Me. This is by Jesse Browner. And this is one of those slim novels that like I could see really like being a word of mouth kind of hit because it is so good. And what I love about this novel is that um this is a book it's a post-apocalyptic novel, but instead of it being like sci-fi or fantasy where like something like a plague has happened or what whatever that we normally see, the apocalypse is war. This is set in the wake of the Trojan War. So it's got, if you're a fan of like Madeline Miller or those like authors that are sort of retelling some of the Greek and Roman mythology, this might hit a sweet spot for you there because it is in the wake of the Trojan War. But it's this boy and his horse, his donkey, that are wandering around the ruins of Troy, looking for his little sister. And so in that way, it feels a bit like Cormac McCarthy's On the Road. And I at first I hesitated to make that comparison because that's that's a big comparison to make. And but it really is. I mean, the writing is stellar. It feels a little bit like J.M. Coetzee's Waiting for the Barbarians, if you've ever read that book, which takes place in South Africa. This is a phenomenal book. Like I said, it's a somewhat slim novel, so it shouldn't take that long to get through. And sometimes right now I just need a kind of slimmer novel, but this one, don't be sort of fooled by its length. It is stunning. It is so well done. It's a beautiful book, and I think one that, like I said, might have some good word of mouth. This feels like one that people are going to sort of hand to each other because it's so good. So this is Sing to Me. It comes out next week, next
Okay.
Tuesday, by Jesse Browner.
I love Jesse Browner. Okay. And a lot of people don't know. He wrote a book like in 2007. And I only know that because I just looked it up. Don't think that I remembered that because I was like, Jesse Browner, Jesse Browner. I know that. So I was looking it up while you were talking. He wrote a book called The Uncertain Hour. And I don't think it's in print anymore. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to look too much if it was. So read Sing to Me. Don't get me wrong. But if you can find The Uncertain Hour, it takes place in ancient Rome. And it's about where he either has to turn himself into the Roman. It's a Titus. Oh, I can't remember which Greek person. Not Greek. Roman. I can't remember which Roman it was. He either has to turn himself in or he has to kill himself. What is that? What's that called? Where you like honor it's like an honor suicide or whatever it is.
I think of seppuku, but that's Japanese. But
That's Japanese,
I
but
hear
there is
what
the
you're
same
saying.
thing. There's the same
Yeah,
thing in
yeah,
Rome. And so he has this dinner with all of his guests and friends, and then he goes and like bleeds himself out a little bit and comes back to the dinner and then goes and bleeds. So by the time that the morning, it I have it around here still. I don't know if I could pull it out like I did the other one last week, but Uncertain Hour, Jesse Browner, his writing is incredible. And he does it, like you said, Uncertain Hours in these short books, and you're just like, oh my God, amazing.
and like, yeah, I think I can't remember if this is his first book with a big five press. It might be his like second or
Yeah.
something, but he has quite a following through indie presses that he's been publishing with for a while.
Right.
So,
Well, the Uncertain Hour was actually a Barnes and Noble pick, and how I knew that
oh,
was I worked at Barnes and Noble at that point, and
cool.
it was one of the it was a Discover title for
Yeah.
Barnes and
But
Noble.
they
That's
feel like those indie press books, like they're so literary and
for
in
sure.
this way
It
that
might
like,
have been. I don't know.
yeah,
That one actually could have been an indie pick, but it was that good.
yeah,
It was
cool.
that good.
I
So
love
it
that.
could have
Seeing
been
a book on from Europa in 2011 by Jesse Browner called Everything Happens Today as
Yeah, I haven't
well.
read that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
he's cool. Yeah.
Yay. Good job, Kim. There must still be some copies out there somewhere.
I got
Ooh,
it.
Kim. Wow.
Kim got it.
Kim got it. It is one of those where it's just like, because it's just like, I had never read anything like that where it's like, you gotta die by the morning, so it's really haunting. It's really
Yeah,
haunting. All
amazing.
right,
Love
Amanda,
that.
what do you got? You got anything else for us?
Yeah, really quick. This is one that was presented by Andrea, and there weren't any copies for us at Kaliba, but I got the single copy that Andrea had on her person.
I
I'm
think I bet I
really
know which one it is. Pull it. Do you have it? Oh no, it wasn't that one.
This is Forest Euphoria, The Abounding Queerness of Nature. And it's from Spiegel and Grau, which I've been a fan of theirs ever since their flagship title, Fox and I, which I was a big fan of. And so this is more nature writing. And the let's see. It's a thrilling book about the natural world that challenges our expectations of what is normal, beautiful, and possible. And from crows to cicadas to eels and beyond, nature is filled with the unusual, the overlooked, and the marginalized, and they have lessons for us all. So there's a blurb from Margaret Renkel, the author of The Comfort of Crows. If the first lesson in how to love nature is learning to see yourself in it and to see it in you, then Forest Euphoria is a master class in how to love the world. And I have to say, I fell in love with it from the cover.
It's a great cover.
So,
It's got a crow on it.
it's got a crow. It's the
And some
Ottawa
mushrooms.
crow. It's got mushrooms. It's got a snack. I
Right.
mean, I'm very excited to dive into this one. And this comes out very soon, a couple of weeks, May 27th.
Awesome. All right, Julia, you got one more for us?
I do. So I have a fun one. So this is a kid's book, and it's a new format that Workman Kids is doing. So they like to play around with formats. So this is called Count to 10 and Back Again. And I'm going to try to demo it. So you learn how to count 1, 2, see how it flips.
Yeah.
See how it, so you count up, and then when you're counting back down, you go like, okay, 8, 7, 6, 5. So you count, it's it is bound on both sides, you can see. So we open up the book 2 ways, and it teaches you. So it's like just 1 star in the sky, 2 stars now in the blink of an eye, twinkle twinkle number 3. And it teaches kids how to count up and down by using these flaps that alternate.
I
Wow.
love it.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's hard to
cool.
demonstrate.
No, but that's super
But
cool. I
promise
love
it's
that.
very cool.
And Workman always comes up with clever stuff.
Yeah. So these are called flip flap board books. I know there's more on the way, more different flip flap board books, but this one came out last week. So it's available in the kids section. But if you have a kid of like learning how to count age, it's a really fun one, and it's a pretty sturdy board book. So
Right.
you can't. It's not an indestructible, but it's hard to destruct.
Well, and for
I
kids, that concept of counting backwards, that's a tough one to visual, and a visualization of it,
Yeah.
like super helpful.
And
So,
it's like you
how
have to do it
comes out.
right, otherwise the next time you count, it's out of order. So
Yeah.
like it helps sort of put that together. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be really good training for someone who wants to be a drummer, because they have to
Yeah.
they have to keep the 2 sides
Yeah.
in at
love
the
it.
same time.
Exactly.
I love it.
It's very fun. So that one I just think is a delight. And it's funny, when I've been selling it to people, they were like, what is this? And then when I actually showed them the sample, they were like, oh, amazing.
Right.
I was
Right.
like, yes, you have to actually kind of hold it and see it to really get it. But it's a really fun counting book.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's gonna do. Unless you have one more you want to talk about, Amanda, are you done?
I think it was a lot, wasn't it?
You talked about a lot of books. I think you
Yeah.
talked about more.
Too many
I think you
books.
talked about like 6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah, that was too many.
I love it. So this week we have a virtual event tomorrow with Joy Calloway. So that's happening tomorrow. So if you're not doing anything, join us for a virtual event at 4:00 our time here. It's either going to be me or Amanda. We're doing rock, paper, scissors I'll be in Chicago with my grandkids, but if Amanda can't make it, I'll be doing that event. And then what else? Oh, we have Brian Selznick this week. So if you're in San Diego, please come and see Brian. His new book is it Away With Me? I think is Away With Me is the title.
Run
of it.
Away With Me.
Run Away With Me. Run Away With Me.
It's his first young adult book.
Young adult book. It's beautiful. His writing's
Mhm.
beautiful. And Brian, it's always fun to hear Brian talk about his book. So if you're right around town, come and see him at the store on Thursday. And next Monday, Amanda, we didn't talk about it, but I'm probably not going to be doing this. So we're going to be begging the reps to come. If nobody's around, we might have to. You'll be there. Okay. We got Julia. So Julia and Amanda will be here.
I got big books. I got big books next week.
Big books.
So
Big books
Oh.
I'll
coming.
be here.
Okay, perfect. So we are all set for next week. I forgot to tell you, Amanda. Sorry. Breaking it to you on live on the air. That way I can't get the sad face, right? All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you're gonna get it from me. I'm telling you. All right, everybody. Happy reading. There's just so many good books that are out right now that are coming out. 2025 is a really good year. Really, really great stuff. So I won't see you next week, but Amanda and Julia will be here for sure. So I'll see you in a couple weeks. So thanks everybody.
Travel safe, Julie.
Thank you.